Hello, in this video I want to look at why you are wanting attention, and perhaps you're even wondering whether you're the narcissist. I'm going to look at what it is that's causing these questions and these emotions, this deep craving that you have inside of you. Hello, my name's Elizabeth Goddard from Revive Your Soul, and on this channel I'll talk about healing from emotional abuse, healing those invisible chains that are keeping you trapped, and they were designed to, but they've moved on and you're still trapped. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, and if you're returning, thank you and welcome back. So what's going on? You come out of this relationship, everything inside you might be screaming for attention. The relationship's over, and what are you feeling? Perhaps you've got narcissistic fleas. You might be wondering what's happening to you. Perhaps it's the chemical reaction or the addiction to the hormones that have triggered this. You're willing to do anything and to put up with anything to get that hormone hit. Perhaps you're stalking them on social media or in person, and you wouldn't be the first and you won't be the last. You didn't get the closure. Not getting closure at the end of the relationship was deliberate. They don't want you to know why, because if there's anything left in you, you could probably pull apart their deceit and reasoning. And perhaps at this point you're willing to do or say anything. You might be willing to take them back and accept any tiny little crumb of attention that they throw your way. They trained you to accept anything. And you might have been reading up on narcissists or emotional abusers and understand that they crave attention, and yet that's exactly what is going on for you at the moment. Your world was consumed by them, and now it's gone, and you're craving the attention even though it was negative. And during these moments you could reach out to them. On average, people go back to these relationships up to 7 or 8 times. They return to the abuser for many different reasons. It definitely feels safer in the relationship than it does on your own out of it. There's the craving or the hormone hit. There's a deep emptiness. You did actually experience loneliness in the relationship, but this is different. Your inner critic is working overtime, and it's pointing out all the reasons that you're in this position, like parrot fashion, repeating everything that you heard in your life that you believe about yourself. And you might discover there's a little child stamping its feet, crying out for attention. This comes from a childhood wound, and the only way that you put up with this behavior in the relationship was due to the wounding that took place when you were younger. You felt safe with this person, and that's partly because of the bonding that took place, but partly because you've experienced something very similar in your life and it felt familiar. When I'm working with people, some recognize this straight away. So you might have been asking if you are the narcissist. Is everything that you found says that they need constant attention, and that's exactly what you want and what you're experiencing. And if you've spent any significant time with a narcissist or an emotional abuser, you probably have picked up some of their traits. But you may have been asking at the end of the relationship, who does that to another person, or why does it hurt so much, or wondering if you've got empathy. But one of the big questions is, am I a narcissist? These are not questions that someone with a personality disorder would ever consider. It could be that you grew up with one or more narcissistic people in your life and that you've picked up some of their traits. But this does not make you a narcissist. We are all on the spectrum. You know they needed a lot of attention, but they also projected a lot onto you, a lot of their wounds onto you. So now in this place of healing, this is why some of it feels unfamiliar. But it's your wound that is needing the attention, and it's screaming at you. So what you need to do is give it the right sort of attention. You need to sit back and ask what it needs. During the love bombing stage, it was the hormones that you're receiving, and initially those were in a positive way. But over time, during the devaluation and discard, they're linked to negative experiences. And as with any addiction, it's like giving up smoking or drinking or drugs, understanding what it is that makes you light up that cigarette or pour another glass of wine, understanding the toxicity that you're taking into your body. It's the same here. Understanding how toxic it was, understanding and healing the wound is going to help you. And you can incorporate things like deep breathing until that need or that craving goes away. You shouldn't need to do that once the wound has been found and healed. Breaking the thought pattern and tricking yourself out those repetitive thoughts, counting backwards from 5 to 0. Mel Robbins has a book called The 5-Second Rule, and she explains how you can take the focus to a different part of your brain and tricking it from the craving. Understanding the triggers of complex post-traumatic stress disorder, I'll put a link in the description below on my video on that. And if you're experiencing any of the symptoms, understanding how they're affecting you. Knowledge really is power in this relationship. And I found it was really helpful reparenting myself. It helped me so much. You are only responsible for yourself and your own healing. The crave for attention is the toxic enmeshment, the toxicity of the relationship. It's the chemical reaction. It's so painful, craving attention, craving the hormones. You're a drug addict going through withdrawal. Ground yourself. Find different ways of self-care that will help you. I found journaling really helpful as well. And if you go to my website, you can find a link for self-care techniques. I hope you found the video useful. If you'd like to find out different ways of working with me, you can visit my website, reviveyoursoul.co.uk, or you can drop me an email, info@reviveyoursoul.co.uk. I've put some links to some resources in the description box below, and also the links to both my books, Finding Lily and The A to Z of Emotional Abuse. Please don't forget to like and share the video, and if you can, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps me spread the message that these relationships can be healed from, and how important it is to breaking that trauma bond. Sending you loads and loads and loads of love.